Morning boys and girls, welcome to another fantastic morning with me Tom.
And me Abby.
You're very welcome if this is your first time with us, and of course for all of our regulars, it's great to see you. Guys, what did we do last week, Abby?
Who can remember what we did last week? That was a long time ago.
Oh, so many days ago. So many days ago.
I think I remember. I think there was a sword involved.
Ooh. Pointy.
And possibly a helmet. And maybe a shield.
That's right.
It was the armour of God. How did you get on making your armour?
Hope you can remember what each component of the armour represents. We might do a little spot quiz at the end of this whole season about each of the weeks we're going to be covering. And the week before last week, oh crikey, I remember some peas and some worriedness.
Yeah.
Worried peas. What a scary world we live in. Guys, this week we are talking about a really strong man. That wasn't me just having a moment there. A strong man called Samson. But before we dive into hearing about Samson, I think it will be fantastic to all jump to our feet and have a fantastic wiggle time with Jeff and Naomi. Take it away, guys.
Hi guys, welcome to today's Wiggle Time. In today's activity, the 5 actions will be based around the story of Samson. Firstly, Samson's parents were visited by an angel, so we're going to do angel. Next, he had long hair, so we're going to pretend we have some long hair. Also, God gave Samson super strength, so we're going to go pretend we're strong. Next, Samson fought a lion, so we're going to do lion. Finally, he could break out of ropes, so we're going to pretend we've broken up. Let's go.
Angel. Lion. Ropes. Lion. Hair. Hair. Strong. Lion. Angel. Ropes. Strong. Hair. Strong. Ropes. Angel. Lion. Angel. Hair. Hair. Lion. Strong. Ropes. Ropes. Lion. Angel. One more. Strong.
Well done everyone, that was great. See you next time, bye.
Cheers, Jeff and Naomi. That was an awesome wiggle time.
So, Tom, what are we learning about today?
Well, this character from today's story, he's pretty cool. He is the strongest guy you could ever come across. And his name is Samson.
Wait, you mean stronger than Superman?
Oh, this guy could beat down Mr. Superman, I reckon.
What? And stronger than Hulk?
Yeah, I reckon he's stronger than Hulk.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this guy single-handedly took down an entire army with a jawbone of a donkey.
Wow.
No, that sounds crazy. But to hear more about this story, let's have Tom and Catherine tell us today's story.
Today's story is taken from the Bible in the book of Judges, chapter 13, all the way to chapter 16. This is Samson. He was made very strong by God's Holy Spirit, but only if his hair was never cut, so it was very long, but not blue. Samson was so strong that once he fought a lion with his bare hands. Yay! He was so strong that once he fought a whole army of people with just a donkey's jawbone as a weapon. Yay! One day, Samson fell in love with a girl called Delilah. The Philistines said that they would pay Delilah if she could find out where Samson got his great strength. So she asked him, how does he get his great strength? And Samson told her to tie him up in lots of different things. So Delilah did try tying him up in lots of different things, but he was only kidding.
Ha!
None of them took away his strength. But eventually Samson told her that if his hair was cut, he would lose all of his strength. One night while Samson was sleeping, Delilah called the Philistines to come and cut his hair. And his strength left him. The Philistines kept Samson in a prison for a long time. One day they made him come out and stand between the pillars while they performed sacrifices to their God. Samson prayed and asked God to give him his strength one more time. And all the building fell down on top of the Philistines and killed all of them. It was the end of the Philistines, but it was also the end of Samson, the strongest man in the world.
Thanks, Tom and Catherine and the gang. What an interesting story. All about a man named Samson who had this extraordinary strength. When he was a little boy, he made a vow to God that he wouldn't ever cut his hair.
That's right.
It looks a little bit like Tom's made that vow because his hair is getting a little bit long. I wonder if he's got extra special strength.
Sadly, no, I don't.
He hasn't.
No.
And so in the story it mentions about God having made a sacrifice, but I don't really understand what that means.
Well, God did make the sacrifice. Samson made a sacrifice. He sacrificed cutting his hair. He would never cut his hair. And as such, God gave him that extraordinary strength that you just mentioned.
So it's sort of like someone giving up something.
A sacrifice is, yeah. He gave up cutting his hair.
Can you imagine doing that, children? Not cutting your hair for your whole life?
Wow. It would get pretty long.
In the end, it did get cut because he got tricked by his friend called Delilah.
That's right.
And then he used his strength to try and break free, but it didn't have a very happy ending.
No.
But it's made me think, Tom, about special gifts that God gives us. What sort of special gifts are there?
There are all sorts of gifts that God pours out upon us, from strength and athleticism, all the way through to being creative and compassionate and a good listener, whether or not you're caring. All sorts of gifts can be found in the Bible that He gives everybody.
I wonder what mine would be. Maybe we can ask God this week when we say a prayer later on what our gifts might be and see what He tells us.
And to remember this Samson story from today, we have a memory verse, which is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Let's try it again.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
And that is from Philippians 4 verse 13.
That's right. Now guys, to help us remember this story and to really hone in as to what we're learning today, we've got a brilliant craft, again with Tom and Catherine.
All you need for today's craft about Samson is a white plate and a normal felt tip, not a permanent marker. And you're going to draw a face on your plate, 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth. And we're going to make Samson's hair using these plain ramen noodles, already cooked and cooled down. Now you can add your hair. There we have a very delicious Samson face with hair that's so long, and it made him so strong by the Holy Spirit. An empty bowl of noodles, and another beautiful Samson face with long noodle hair that we're now going to eat up. You can dig in now, guys.
Thanks, Tom and Catherine, for that fantastic craft. Now it's time to have some worship time with Beth.
There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like Him. I walk here and there. I search here and there. I turn around here and there. There's no one like Him. There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like Him. I walk here and there. I search here and there. I turn around here and there. There's no one like Him. There's no one like Him.
Cheers, Beth. That was a great worship time. So, Abby, what have we learnt about today?
That we can rely on God and that He can give us strength and other gifts as well.
That's right. We heard about Samson, and God gave him the gift of strength, extraordinary strength. And Samson, what did he do? He had to make was it a sacrifice? What's a sacrifice, Abby? Can you remind us?
So it's when you give something up for somebody else.
He didn't cut his hair, ever. It must have been really long. I bet he could have skipped with his own hair. But, as we heard in the story, he got tricked. And his hair was cut. And he lost that amazing gift that God had gave him. But, as we said, guys, God gifts all of us amazing gifts. And we can always find strength in God. And we learned a memory verse. Should we say the memory verse together, Abby?
Yeah. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. From Philippians 4 verse 13.
Brilliant. Okay guys, that rounds up this week's morning, and we look forward to seeing you again next week, where it'll be our last week in this series. Very sad. But it'll be a fantastic morning nonetheless. But until then guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.